Even though I was a little nervous, I believed my answers were short, pertinent, and appropriate. If I got the job, I could work as a translator for China's General Company for Road and Bridge Construction, our nation's largest state-owned company. After about an hour of intense interviewing, he stuck out his hand. "You have the job, and you will receive double salary. One part will be paid in American currency, and the other paid in Chinese currency. Our company has a new job in Kenya, so that might be your first assignment." "Thank you," I said, trying not to calculate how much money I'd now have per month. "I accept." I walked home singing a tune. After so many trials and so much trouble, I'd finally overcome my humble beginnings. But when I got back to the silence of my home, I didn't have the peace I figured would come with this new job. That's when the Lord reminded me of my pledge. I tried to shove it out of my mind. After all, I'd scrimped by on almost nothing my entire life. Now that I had a wife, couldn't I simply make a little extra? Or even a great deal extra? "I think I might be going to Kenya," I told James during the next men's prayer meeting. "To Kenya? Won't that complicate your plan to spread the gospel in China?" I knew God wasn't going to let me get away from His will for my life. I broke down and told James all about my occupational decisions and struggles. I wanted to make money, but I'd pledged to God I'd take a job that allowed me to do ministry as well. While I discussed my options with my friend, it became undeniably clear. "I should be about the kingdom's work," I said at last. "The Lord will honor my commitment and show me what job is best for my circumstances." There was one job option that would give me flexibility during the evenings and enough money to make ends meet. Barely. Neither of us said the word teacher, because we both knew I'd been rebelling against that job my entire life, but that was the only option that would allow me to keep my promise. "Yes," my friend said, "there's got to be some sort of job." His voice trailed off ambiguously. "God will make it clear." I wasn't the only one who didn't want to be a teacher. Many educated Chinese graduates also shunned the job. The Communist Party school was a training ground for those on the way to becoming high-ranking communist leaders. Since party members had elite educational backgrounds, they turned down such low-paying jobs in favor of more prestigious ones. Consequently, the Communist Party school couldn't find enough English teachers within the party to teach their budding officials. The school began hiring non-communist members. "We still need one more teacher," a woman who'd graduated from the same university program told me. She'd taught English at the Communist Party school for a few years and seemed quite content. "Sorry," I said, "I'm not a communist." "I was the first non-communist they hired," she said. "Believe me, they'd prefer I was a member, but it came down to a teacher shortage. They needed me. If you're interested in a job, I think you'd be perfect." The next morning, I shuffled into the heavily guarded, unmarked campus far from Tiananmen Square. This time, when I met my interviewer, I was neither nervous nor excited. If I got the job, I knew it was because God wanted me there. So right away I told him, "I'm not a party member." "That's not a disqualification," he assured me. I didn't disclose my Christianity, however, which would have been a deal breaker. An hour later, I walked out of that school with a job offer and a smile. "You won't believe what job I just got," I told James after the interview. God let me keep my promise to him by giving me a job training high-ranking communist officials. The irony of it all made us both break into laughter. Heidi was living in our province, finishing her school year and studying to pass the graduate entrance exam to the People's University of Beijing. She realized teaching was too much work for too little pay, so she hoped she could get into a program to study aesthetics and philosophy. In the meantime, I moved into the Communist Party school compound, where I was assigned a dorm with another married man whose wife was also living in another city. When Heidi passed the exam, she wrote me excitedly. Not only was her future opening up, she could move to Beijing and we could finally live together as man and wife. "The only problem is that tuition costs 24,000 yuan, she wrote. At that time, that amount was about 3,000 American dollars. It was such an unobtainable amount of money, there was no way she'd be able to attend without divine intervention. Thankfully, as Christians, we believed in miracles. Every day for weeks, I prayed for her education. Then, during one of my prayer meetings, I shared my financial